Good morning, everybody. My name is Dr. Patrick Flynn, the Hormone Whisperer. As you can see, we are on location again at another spot. Thank you always for sending your comments and questions in about doing certain videos. And we got a video that said, Doc, we see you drink a lot of stuff. And the Start Somewhere campaign has been doing so well with everybody. What I want to do is I got to call the owner of La Java Roasting House this way, and his name is Mark, and he was so gracious to let us in for the video today. So we're going to cover two of my favorite things: coffees and teas. The nice thing about this is when you start somewhere, I always tell people it's really easy to change your things that you drink, quite easy. One of the favorite things that I love, obviously, is coffee. Okay, now obviously there's great brands out there, but I'm also big at supporting your local business. Because when we contacted La Java here a long time ago, not only, for example, did they have some great organics in here, but the more that I got, local base to come here and purchase organics, more organics started to show up. So a lot of people say, Doc, how do we get our grocery store to bring in more of the good stuff that way? Start buying it, because then what they'll do is they'll actually be able to transfer things from the non-organic to organic, and the more that you buy, the better supplies it comes, and actually the costs go down. So where we're going to start today is one of my favorite things to do is actually drink through the day, okay? Because once again, a lot of times you don't get enough water. But we all know water gets pretty boring. It really does. It's like after a while you're like, okay, give me some flavor, okay? Well, I'm going to start with some of the simplest things is actually tea. Now, a lot of people say, well, tea, has some flavor, but you want something sweet. Well, that's where you can add xylitol or honey into it to actually do it. Because some of my favorite teas are right here. Actually, I come and get these all the time. As people know, I love the medicinal herb chamomile, but that's usually an alcohol extract at a high potency. But you can get some organic chamomile tea. As you can see, I come here all the time, I grab some, put in the bag, I'll have them make it here if I just want to sip and read something that way. But some good organic chamomile tea, because the constituents in chamomile have a very calming effect on certain cells of the GI. Okay, that's why people know that it's good for the GI. Well, it's really good for the GI because it has a very good calming effect to some of the cells in there that make some of the irritation start to go away. So it's good to actually sit and sip on chamomile tea through the day. Once again, you can add some honey or some xylitol or some stevia as a sweetener to give it a little bit more flavor that way. But chamomile tea is absolutely incredible that way. Now, why do I like organic teas? Obviously, coffee especially has this. Coffee has a high pesticide rate, okay? So do teas. Teas have to do, so they have to be able to survive in a very strong environment. But what happens is they kind of rot fast. So actually they use a lot of pesticides and a lot of different things. Another one of my favorite teas that I get here, obviously I know it's kind of funny because who doesn't love chocolate? Here's an organic chocolate and strawberry fruit blend that way. Man, they've become so creative on some of the organic teas that way to give you such great flavor. It's absolutely incredible that way. One of my favorite teas that I'm actually going to even grab today is the organic cranberry orange. It's one I really love during the winter. Yes, it's summer right now, but the flavor and the aroma and everything is absolutely incredible. One thing about teas is not only when you actually have a tea, there's also a sensory aspect to when you breathe in teas. That's why you'll see people that really understand teas, they smell a lot. That's why when you come to like a roasting house like this, absolutely incredible aroma in here, which is actually really good for your health. Now the cool thing is this, what we're going to do now is we're going to sneak over to actually one of the things that this place is well known for. They do a lot of their own roasting that way, but we're going to actually go over and check out some of the favorite coffee that we have, and then also some alternative to the milks that way. So coming over. So a lot of things that I'll do is actually, if I'm not in actually the mood for a tea, what I'll do is I'll come and grab a great coffee. Now, one of my favorites right here is the Guatemalan Organic Fair Trade coffee that way. Come grab a quick cup, but once again, I like to actually add a little bit of milk in there. So our roasting house, once again, you can use your almond milk, you can use your coconut milk. There's, we like hemp milk. Cashew milk is actually a great milk to put in your coffee too, because it actually makes it thick. So what I want to do is I want to introduce the owner of La Java Roasting House, because he's a friend of ours. We send so many customers here because he constantly brings in great products. So Mark, come on over and meet our crew. And I just want Mark, thanks for having us here.
Yep.
And some of that. But tell our audience, how you got into coffee and how you got into roasting, which is really important actually, because once again, when they roast it locally that way, coffee is very high in mold. When they actually roast it and ship it out fresh that way, then once again, you're not dealing with some coffee is even organically. I'd be careful with some of the mold. So what got you into coffee?
Well, it started probably 16, 17 years ago now. Basically, It was something for, we both always enjoyed coffee, so it was always something for my wife to do when she got laid off from her other corporate job and that. So we started looking around and we found this little roastery we really enjoyed. And since we, like I said, we both enjoyed coffee, we just went into that and took it over.
Yeah, it became a great passion, and now he has multiple locations across, and it's kind of nice, and it's kind of neat because you can come in here, but now they have a new location where they roast it, but we used to come here and watch them roast the beans, which is, it's kind of a neat experience to see that alone, because you're not just a coffee shop, you're actually a roastery.
Correct.
Like that, so.
Yeah, and our philosophy is we try to cycle everything out of our shop within 5 to 7 days,
Yes.
so that it is always fresh.
Yes, because mold, that's one thing. That's why I find a place like this, mold's very high in coffees, you know what I'm saying? Even some of the organic brands actually have been tested, and they've actually been, because once again, when they're shipped all over the world, guess what happens? High chance of mold. So thanks for having us in here.
Sure.
We appreciate everything you do, and appreciate you as a local business owner supplying great organic stuff to the customer base. So you guys, thank you for joining on another one of our great videos. Thank you for constantly putting your information out and asking us to go to different locations and that, and we'll continue to put wonderful videos out for the Wellness Way to give you the greatest information.